Today's tip is about managing your home care team. Hi, it's me, Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers with love, laughter, and lessons learned. Today I have my friend Theresa Wilbanks from Sustainable Caregiving to give us some tips on how to manage your home care team.
Hi, I'm Theresa Wilbanks from Sustainable Caregiving. If you've accepted that you need help as a caregiver and taken the steps to accept help, well, then first I want to say that is wonderful. Congratulations. And whether you're working with a caregiving agency or a private hired aide, it's not easy having new folks in the home, and good communication will help minimize the frustrations that might arise. So, since effective communication is key to ensuring that you profit from the additional help, you might consider using a notebook to share notes back and forth. You can share questions, answers, concerns, maybe new information, and a daily or weekly checklist might help to make sure that everyone's staying on the same page. You might find that texting or phone calls may be the preferred way to communicate with your aide, but maybe not. So, no matter the method, the important thing is to keep each other current. And if you have more than one aide helping with care, it's even more critical that the communication is consistent. And, if something is being done in a way that makes you uncomfortable, maybe start with questions to better understand the reasons. And then ask yourself if the outcome is acceptable. The AIDS process may be different than yours. It may be a different way of accomplishing the same thing and achieving the same objective. Sometimes letting go of control, it doesn't mean letting go of standards. And while we may feel that we're the best caregiver, and we may be the best caregiver, we can also acknowledge that others are very effective at providing care and we do need their help. Another tip is to find opportunities to show appreciation regularly. Caring for another person, as you know, is both rewarding and challenging. So check in with them and see how the arrangement is working. Is there anything they wish were different? And be specific with your praise and appreciation. Let them know what they're doing well and why it's meaningful to both you and your family member. When you have concerns, share them with respect and be specific about what changes that you would like to see and reasons if you're able to share them. Boundaries with paid caregivers are important. We can set limits around whether we share personal information. The folks who are coming into your home and helping you care for your family member, they often become like part of the family. And if this relationship becomes too familiar, it can be uncomfortable communicating when there's a concern about how tasks were accomplished or if personal conversation is interfering with responsibilities. Another example, limits may be set around light housekeeping. If you share space with your family member, you may appreciate that the aide helps maintain the cleanliness of your family member's living space and prefer that you manage your own areas. Clear communication can avoid hurt feelings when your aide's kind gesture feels like an unwelcome invasion. In general, when more rigid boundaries are established early, it's easier to move to more flexible boundaries. It's not easy to start with flexible boundaries and shift to more rigid boundaries. So, communication with family members who are on your care team or with those who just want to be kept informed also requires strategies. And you may want to consider setting boundaries with family members. So, limits can be set around when to have conversations regarding your loved one's care. If a family member frequently drops by and offers suggestions and advice, it may feel like criticism when you're exhausted and overwhelmed, and just taking care of the day-to-day responsibilities is a lot. So it may help to establish guidelines around communication concerning care. With mindfulness and compassion, you can let them know that they're important to you and that the topic is important, but that right now you're not able to give it the attention that's deserved. An informal meeting once a week might be a more productive and less inciting way to approach this conversation. Technology is also an option. Some apps allow you to log in and share family members' medical information, track appointments, medications, and share other information with family members and the care team. And you may receive help from neighbors. So, communicating clear expectations and limits ensure that the relationship is founded on respect for everyone involved. So, when working with folks on your care team, communication, respect, and compassion are keys to collaborating. And then you can use the time and energy gained to focus on self care and your well being.
You always have such great tips, Theresa. Really appreciate you being part of today's tips. Tune in next week for another tip sponsored by Arden Courts, where all they do is memory care. And have a delicious day.